Greetings, travelers, and welcome to Geronimo Draws. In this video, we will explore how Superman reflects the figure of Moses, the deliverer of Israel, and Jesus Christ, the sacrificial redeemer, through both his origin and visual symbolism. In the pantheon of modern mythology, few figures loom larger than Superman. Created in 1938 by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, Superman has become more than just a superhero. He is an icon of hope, moral fortitude, and mythic grandeur. But beneath the cape and S symbol lies something deeper, a rich tapestry of biblical imagery and narrative structure, drawn from both the Old Testament prophetic tradition and the New Testament story of salvation. Superman's earliest narrative roots are strikingly reminiscent of the Exodus story. In the book of Exodus, the infant Moses is hidden in a basket and set adrift on the Nile River to escape Pharaoh's decree that all Hebrew baby boys be killed. He is discovered by Pharaoh's daughter and raised in the palace, an outsider who later returns to lead his people to freedom. Similarly, Kal-El is placed by his father Jor-El in a space capsule and launched away from Krypton as the planet collapses. He crashes on Earth and is raised in Kansas by humble farmers, an alien in a strange land destined for greatness. Both figures are orphans, preserved through divine foresight, and both become moral leaders who stand against oppression. Kal-El's very name evokes the sacred tradition. The suffix El in Hebrew refers to God, as seen in names like Daniel, God is my judge, or Ezekiel, God strengthens. Kal-El has been interpreted to mean voice of God, or vessel of God, an echo of the prophetic mantle carried by figures like Elijah, Jeremiah, and Moses himself. This prophetic heritage is further expressed in Superman's dual identity. As Clark Kent, he hides in plain sight, underestimated and meek. But like the biblical prophets, he is a man chosen not for status, but for purpose. He becomes Superman when justice cries out, a visual and narrative embodiment of the Old Testament lawgiver and protector of the weak. If the Old Testament gives Superman his origin, the New Testament gives him his mission. In the Gospels, Jesus is the only begotten Son, sent by the Father not to condemn the world, but to redeem it. This salvific narrative echoes through Superman's mythos. Jor-El, Superman's father, in the 1978 film adaptation, sends his infant son to Earth with words that are nearly scriptural in tone. Quote, "They can be a great people, Kal-El, they wish to be. They lack only the light to show the way." End quote. This language frames Superman as a messianic figure, sent to uplift a broken world. The cruciform imagery in Superman's visual canon is especially revealing. In multiple films and comic panels, Superman is shown descending from the heavens with arms outstretched, mirroring Christ on the cross. His death at the hands of Doomsday in the Death of Superman saga is staged as a sacrificial act. He gives his life to save humanity. Mourning follows, and eventually, resurrection. And Superman's fall is not defeat, but a mirror of Christ's triumph. Death endured so that life might be restored. Superman returns from death, glorified and changed, as Christ does in Christian theology. His return is met with awe and renewed hope, solidifying him as a redeemer figure in the fullest biblical sense. When Superman returns, his appearance is transformed. Long hair flows around a youthful, beardless face. This visual echoes the risen Christ as imagined by Michelangelo and Caravaggio. Not the crucified sufferer, but the glorified victor. It is the image of a savior who has passed through death and returned in radiant strength. Superman's Fortress of Solitude is also a sacred space, a place of silence and reflection. Even in the earliest form, it echoes something older, something sacred. Before Moses could receive the law, he ascended Mount Sinai alone. Before Christ began his public ministry, he withdrew to the wilderness to fast, to pray, to be tested. Solitude is not escape, it is preparation. In both the Bible and the myth of Superman, separation from the world precedes the saving of it. That meaning deepened in 1978. The fortress became a cathedral of light, a Kryptonian sanctuary, sculpted in crystal, where Jor-El's spirit speaks, from father to son, from past to purpose. The mountaintop becomes a place of revelation, where the hero remembers who he is and why he was sent. Another key theme from both testaments is that the one chosen by God is often rejected by the very people he is sent to save. For example, Joseph is sold into slavery by his brothers. Christ is mocked, betrayed, and crucified. Superman experiences the same rejection. Lex Luthor, embodying the rationalist fear of the divine, calls him a threat to human autonomy. And yet, Superman persists. Superman is a mythic threshold between the ancient and the modern. As Moses, he is the hidden son who liberates. As Christ, he is the son who dies, returns, and redeems. And as Superman, he is a parable made flesh, reminding us of an ancient truth, that true greatness lies not in ruling others, but in lifting them up. Thank you for watching.